Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick from Nick Exposed, and on this episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, I have two different quotes that I want to bring up and just kind of open up some conversation about this stuff. I was reading these quotes this week and they really stood out to me and got me thinking about quite a bit. So the first one comes from Arnold, who she was a Magnum photographer, fantastic photographer. You should go check out her work if you haven't seen it in the past. But she says, "If a photographer cares about the people before the lens and is compassionate, much is given." The second comes from Leibovitz, and she says, "A thing that you will see in my photos is that I was not afraid to fall in love with these people." And I think both of them, both Eve and Annie, both go through and talk about actually having compassion and actually having love for the subjects that are in front of our cameras. And I just think that's interesting, even if we're not necessarily photographing people, but I think there's something to be said for when we actually fall in love with the subject that we're actually photographing, when we actually step further than just that idea of the initial, shock of a scene or anything like that, but we actually step into a relationship with the scene, right? A relationship with the subject. I think that's one of the things that makes series such a powerful tool, is because you can take a extended period of time of getting to know a particular subject and get to dive further and further and further and layer deep. So I want to throw this out there. I just love this idea of actually stepping into a place of falling in love with the things that we're actually photographing, falling in love and having compassion and empathy for the people that we're photographing, or the subjects that we're photographing, and what that actually does to our photos. If you look at both Eve and Annie's work, you'll see just a compassion in their work. You'll see, especially in their portraiture, they get expressions and interactions out of people that other photographers could only dream of. And I truly believe it's because they've stepped into a place of actually connecting with that which is in front of their lens, versus just pulling the camera up, taking the photo and walking away. And I wanted to throw that out there for you guys and just hear and open up the discussion of, what do you guys think about this? How can we actually take that aspect of actually spending time of getting to delve in further with what we're actually photographing, and what that could do to our photography. So I'd love to hear you guys' comments down below. And then also, as always, we're gonna do the live stream at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard over on Instagram. Before you take off, go ahead and like and subscribe down below. If you're new to the channel, go check out some of the other stuff. I got all sorts of content and would absolutely love to have you along for the ride. So subscribe down below. I look forward to reading you guys' comments and talking with you today on the live stream. See you then.